so I genuinely think that buying used phones on a platform like Facebook Marketplace and reselling those phones for a profit might just be the most realistic and easiest side hustle that pretty much anyone can do to make an extra $500 per week. You don't need to be a tech person. You really don't need that much money to get started. And if your goal is to make an extra $500 per week, once you got the hang of it, you're probably looking at like a few hours of work each week. So the way this side hustle works is very simple. Every single day, people are listing their used iPhones for sale on local platforms like Facebook Marketplace. If you can learn how to spot a good deal and you check Marketplace frequently enough that you're there when a good deal is posted, you can very consistently buy that phone and then list that phone on a platform like eBay, where phones do tend to sell for a premium because it is a global marketplace and people are just willing to pay more for a phone if it's shipped directly to them. Or if you don't want to deal with the whole hassle of eBay, there's actually even wholesale buyers who will pretty much buy your stock instantly at prices that are still above what you can very consistently get them for on Facebook Marketplace. If you're one of those people that needs to see something to believe it and you need to see this side hustle in action, I do actually have a series on this channel where I show myself taking $100 and turning that $100 into $10,000 doing this exact side hustle. Took a little bit over a month. I documented the entire thing. Every single phone I purchased, there's screenshots for, and all of the sales were documented in that series. I do also have a community on School full of people who are posting their flips pretty much every single day. Don't worry, this video is not just gonna be a big sales pitch for my School community. I am actually gonna be showing you exactly how this side hustle works and how you can get started in this video. Well, you definitely can make a lot more than $500 a week, and there's a lot of people who are making a lot more than $500 profit per week doing this exact side hustle. The reason that I think $500 per week is super interesting is because I think it's extremely attainable for pretty much anyone. And I really don't think it'll take that long for most people to get to $500 per week. On the low end, you could make like $80 profit per flip very consistently. So if you wanted to make $500 in a week, you'd probably be looking at like 6 flips a week for $500 in profit a week. You'll usually be able to make a lot more than that on each flip, especially once you've done this a bit and you actually know how to spot a good deal. The average flip in my community, I'd say, is probably over 120 USD or more, with people regularly posting flips they got that are quite a bit more than that. So more realistically, if you wanted to make $500 in a week, you'd probably be looking at like 3-ish flips in a week, because realistically, if you're trying to just make $500 in a week, you probably wouldn't be going out of your way to buy those lower profit flips. You'd probably just wait till there was 2 or 3 higher profit flips posted on Facebook within a week. All right, so how do you actually get started and start making money flipping used iPhones? I'm gonna be breaking this down into a few steps that you could follow to flip pretty much any iPhone profitably. All right, so your first step before you could even start looking for phones, selling phones, any of that, is you need to learn how to determine the value of a phone, because it's hard to know what a good deal is if you don't know what a phone typically sells for. The easiest way to do this is going to be by referencing eBay sold listings. The way you're going to do this for pretty much any device is very simple. You're just going to go to eBay and you are going to search the model phone that you are potentially looking to buy. Then once you've made your search, you're just going to scroll down. You're going to filter based on sold listings. This is very important because you need to reference phones that have actually sold. List prices mean nothing. What matters is what they have actually sold for. And then once you have filtered based on sold listings, you want to find another phone similar to the one you're looking to buy that is as similar as possible to the one that you are looking to buy. You want to make sure it is the same model. You want to make sure it's the same condition. If it has a bad battery, make sure you price it against another one with a bad battery. Just make sure the one you're comparing is as similar as possible to the one you were looking to buy. There's a lot of phones being sold on eBay every single day. Trust me, it's not hard to find a similar listing. You can find one very similar that have sold very recently to what you're potentially looking to buy. So once you have your comparable listing, your next step is just gonna be to take the sale price from that listing. You're gonna wanna go ahead and put that number into an eBay fee calculator to calculate exactly how much money you're going to get after any eBay fees or anything, because this is what you're actually gonna end up with after your sale. And then once you have that number, all you need to do is make sure the devices you are buying are below that price, because anything between those two numbers is going to be your profit. Another important thing a lot of people miss here is you're definitely gonna want to sign up for a basic eBay store, because that basic store subscription is like $29 a month, and it brings down your fees from 14% all the way down to 9%. So if you're gonna be doing this, it's gonna save you a lot of money in eBay fees. All right, so moving on to step number 2. So once you understand market values, your next step is going to be actually being able to source phones for below those values. I'm gonna be mentioning Facebook a lot in this, but you can use whatever marketplace you have. You should use all of them. You could use Craigslist, OfferUp, Kijiji, whatever you have where people sell phones, you should use those in addition to Facebook. But for simplicity, I just say Facebook when I explain how to do this. So when you go on Facebook and you start looking at the prices for phones, the prices that you see are going to be high. That does not mean that your market is too high. That does not mean your market is bad. And that does not mean that phone flipping does not work where you're from. The way this works is the good deals are going to go fast. An average profit deal is usually going to get sold within like 3 hours of being posted, and the best deals are usually going to be sold within like 5 to 10 minutes. Just to be clear, that doesn't mean that you need to meet up with them within 5 to 10 minutes or meet up with them that quickly. All you need to do is send them a message and set up the meetup as soon as possible if you want to secure the best deals possible. So pretty much when you start searching for deals, you don't want to pay attention to the devices listed the very first time you start searching or trying to find good deals. The devices that are sitting on Marketplace that haven't been sold are usually overpriced devices, and they're sitting there for a reason. Phones aren't actually selling for that amount of money. If you want to be getting the best deals possible, you're going to want to be checking Marketplace as frequently as possible. Another major advantage you have as a reseller that you have to keep in mind that you should be leveraging is that you are not using this device personally. This is not your personal phone. You are able to buy pretty much any device in any condition with any functionality issues, as long as it makes you a profit. So you need to be leveraging this when you are searching for phones. Do not just search for perfect condition newer phones. You should be searching for every single model iPhone in pretty much every condition, because it doesn't matter to you how the phone looks or anything like that. All that should matter to you to get good deals is that the price you're paying is less than what you know you could sell it for on a platform like eBay, which means if you want to do this successfully, you're going to want to be checking Facebook Marketplace for every single model in any condition as frequently as possible and making an offer on anything that you could potentially make a profit on. I want to make a note here that when you first get started, this process is going to be slow because you're new to this. You don't know what a good deal is. You don't have an eye for what a good deal is. And it's your first time doing it all. So it's going to take you longer to do this. It's not going to be as fluid as it is for someone who's been doing it for a while, but it does get easier. And once you've got the hang of it, you should be able to check Marketplace for deals within like 5 minutes. There is actually also software that does this completely automatically in the background. It's constantly checking Facebook Marketplace, and it'll send you good deals within the price ranges you set within as fast as a minute of them being posted on Facebook. It's very effective. It's really good to use. I have a link in the description to the company that I am personally partnered with. I am partnered with them, so that does obviously mean I earn income when you use them. So full disclosure there, but I do think they're very helpful for sourcing phones, and it is a good tool to use to make this process a lot easier and save yourself a lot of time when searching Marketplace. That being said, if you've never done this before, I would prefer that you get started completely manually and you don't buy any software or anything like that, and you make some money flipping phones before you start investing in software or anything like that. So step 3 is going to be actually going ahead and picking up the phones that you have found on Facebook Marketplace. This part of the process is fairly straightforward. You just want to make sure that you're testing the device to make sure that everything works and you're buying what you expected to buy when you message the seller. I have a tutorial somewhere on this YouTube channel that'll show you exactly how to test a device, And there's also plenty of videos on YouTube that can show you what to test for a device before buying it to make sure you're not missing anything and you know exactly what you're buying. Obviously, you're meeting strangers in public. You want to be safe. Make sure you're meeting people in broad daylight, ideally in a public place or even a police station to be safe. And if you don't want to get scammed, just don't pay anyone until you've actually met up with them and seen the phone in person. Once you've actually bought the device, your final step is going to be actually reselling the phone for a profit. There's two options for this. You can either sell on eBay or you could sell to a wholesale buyer. eBay overall, in my experience, is going to give you the best price and the most profit, but it does take a little bit more effort and a bit more capital to actually hold inventory while you wait for stuff to sell. Selling on eBay is obviously pretty straightforward. You're just going to take some good pictures, write a good description, and just wait for your devices to sell. As far as wholesale buyers, those are another option that a lot of people like to use because they get their funds back instantly so they could buy more phones, and it is a way you could make some decent profit. You can definitely find some buyers with some pretty decent prices just by going to Google and searching direct iPhone buyer. Or I do also have a list of high paying buyers available in my community, some of which will actually pay you via PayPal before you even ship the device and get your money back to you pretty much immediately. Repeat that process a few times a week and that is your $500 profit.